Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Hey, we've been talking about Liz Hayes' memoir quite a bit lately. This man was not married to John Singleton, but he has a memoir out. It's called Big Mouth. I'm just going through it now, and at the end, the acknowledgements. My family, my book family, my television family, my radio family. So let's have a look just to see if...
How many in the list there? Is our name...
Damn it, we don't get a mention. It's Matt Preston!
Matt Preston!
It is amazing how many people I know, the first thing they read is acknowledgements. and everywhere I go, why aren't I in there? And I go, well, you're not my mum, you know? I mean, if you were my mum, if we shared a house together, perhaps.
Matty Preston, what's exciting about this book, Big Mouth, is one, you've got a lot to say, but also you love eating.
That's why I got a big mouth.
You do have a big mouth?
I've got good hair, big mouth.
And a huge head. But do you know what? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know a better storyteller than you, Matt Preston. And you've got a lot of great stories.
There are. I can start with it. Matthew Riley would be good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think I'd be about 2,985, and that would just be
86.
And that'd be just my part of Malvern. No, I have got some stories to tell. And I think the thing I've realised doing this book is so has everyone. This whole thing about family secrets and scandals and things we keep to ourselves, and they have power because you keep them to ourselves. The moment you go blah and you talk about it, other people come up and say, I lost my brother that died this way, or my mum had an eating disorder, or my uncle was actually adopted and wasn't actually part of the family.
Right. You do share a lot in the book. Can you share the story of your brother?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, my brother was 22. He'd had one epileptic attack. He'd gone to hospital for that. He came back out 5 years later. My mum came down and found him dead in the bedroom we shared together. He had a thing called SUDEP, which is sudden unexplained death from epilepsy. Wasn't known about at the time. No one knew about it.
What?
That kills about 170 adults in Australia at the moment. But it's
that rare.
But it's more than SIDS. So they give you an idea of because GPs don't know about it often. They're very hard when young people are diagnosed with epilepsy to give them the right advice, because with the right advice that number can be halved. So you can actually dramatically reduce the incidence. But in that case, when no one knew about it, it basically, we had no idea. My folks had no idea. We had no idea that he was under that risk, and then he died. So that bizarrely, I think for me, that's the hardest story to tell. But it's also the story I'm proudest to tell. One, because of how my mother dealt with it, which was set up a charity with other bereaved mums to provide support in that situation. But also in terms of people who are worried about it, ask your GP, go to Epilepsy Action Australia, and there's all this resource online. There's all this support online that's available.
I see you. I've been doing radio for 19 years, and Matty, well, when did you start MasterChef? When did we get to know you?
About the same time. You and I started about the same time. That's right.
Interviewing you for close to 20 years. You're probably one of the most experienced of life guests I've ever had in my life, where you've travelled around the world. The people that you've met around the world and the stories that you have, you must have so many different groups of friends, Matty. Did you have a gap year? Did you go travelling? How long did you travel for?
I painted and decorated houses. I hung wallpaper.
Wow, this is
that's a tricky gig.
It's a skill.
You've done everything.
So where did you go? Where did you go doing that?
Just around the suburb I grew up in.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you, the one thing you never want to do is try and hang wallpaper behind a toilet.
Right.
Because when you get the steamer out, you have to steam all the paper off behind the toilet. There's like 100 years. 100 years of misses are soaked into the toilet paper, and when you steam it, everything comes back to life.
Well, Matty, when you talk about jobs that stink, you also had at one stage a review and a writer on a show called Home and Away.
Yes, I did.
You had to write about, and that wouldn't have been an easy task to break down the talent on that show.
It was brilliant. I got paid to watch every single episode of Neighbours and Home and Away from 1993 through to 1998.
Seriously?
Wow. That's why I'm always slightly in awe now. Kate Ritchie is a legend, and Kate
that's when we first met. When I knew you were a TV writer, or
that's right.
Did you interview Kate back then in the 90s?
Nah, she was out of my league.
Do you know what? What's awkward about this, Fitz? I don't know if you know, Matt, but I'm about to release my first book, and Kate's got a couple of books.
Yeah,
so that's
under about already.
I have 3 books.
You have 3 books. So we're all authors except you at this stage. I don't think
yours hasn't been picked up.
So
you've written a book. You don't read books.
I would love you, say, to come back and do a reading of the book. We're just waiting for the copies to arrive. It's called The Far Too Personal Trainer, and it's an erotic fiction.
Does that really float your boat? A bit of erotic fiction?
But you've got the voice for it, Matty.
Erotic fiction? Yeah, I can't think of anything better. I mean, assuming there are no rude words in there.
There's some spicy
We're here to
scenes.
promote your book, and he's turned it back into his book.
But that's okay. I think it's important to support your friends.
Thank you.
In whatever they're doing, and no matter how misguided that might be.
I need to jump in quickly. It is Christmas in a minute.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
Okay, I just want to know what's kind of go-to on the Christmas table.
Rules. Number 1 rule, don't buy a turkey, buy a chicken. Buy 2 chickens, because turkeys are really hard to cook. They're really dry. And then have all the trimmings. Have if you want your sausage wrapped in bacon, if you want your cranberry sauce, your bread sauce, all that stuff goes with chicken. That's number 1. Number 2, delegate as much as you can. Number 3, before the day starts, say, you're not cooking, so therefore you are doing the washing up. The other really important thing is with your fridge, about a week before, go through and throw out anything you haven't opened in the last 6 months.
That's
just
true.
4 tips, and they'll make your Christmas far easier.
Big Mouth is out right now. It is a memoir of Matty Preston's life. He's been in our lives for the last 20 years. We love you, Matty. Thank you very much for coming in, buddy.
I love you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
What a pleasure. Thank you.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.